Okay, guys, I finally got it put together. Um, this was my Doosan loader project that I've been working on, and like I said, it didn't start as a complete rebuild and refurb. I just wanted to get some of the parts together to make it run again and make it run smooth. But me being me and being the way that I am, I decided to fix it, and also, and I still have it around, hanging around, believe it or not, trying to fix some of the suspension problems that was going on with it. I took it down to the frame, and this was the old frame, like we discussed in the last video. Um, it's in horrible shape. This is just bad. this is not. This is bad workmanship all around. But anyway, yep, I replaced the frame, put a new one in there. You can't see it because it's under everything. Um, Fixed a lot of the little bad design problems. Um, Give you a quick story about this loader without going into major amount of time. When I originally designed this loader years ago, I designed it not to have an axle and transmission. I designed it actually just to have 4 gear motors. So this is actually a product of that, and that's why, for example, this is so deep in here because the the pipe that had the 2 gear motors for the rear end, they were in here, and it needed to move and all that crazy stuff. So, but yeah, that's why this kind of looks the way it is and is designed the way it is. It also, because it didn't have a gearbox, this section here was actually just a big plate that screwed on to the bottom. And that's where all the electronics went, like the speed controller, the receiver, and all that. But again, since it actually, and also that's where the pump went originally too. But since I put an axle and transmission in it, that no longer even mattered. That space was eaten up by the transmission and the motor. But anyway, I got the new frame in. I fixed the steering. The steering actually works very smooth now. There's a 25 kilogram servo in there controlling the steering, and I know that's not scale looking, and that's not scale. I know that the real wheel loaders actually have 2 hydraulic cylinders, but I didn't want to do the hydraulic cylinders because I'm so used to driving just the RC cars, like the touring cars and the semi trucks and dune buggies and stuff. And on those, if you know or not know, they self-center. So that's why I'm using a servo to control the steering. But it's a strong servo, and I've been driving it around. That's why it's dirty, and it works pretty good. Also, I repainted it. I'm not sure if I like the color. It doesn't look as good on here as it does on the trucks. On the trucks, it looks pretty cool. But on here, it just doesn't come off the way I thought it was going to come off. So it might be repainted a different blue. But if I repaint it again, I'm going to completely strip the paint. I'm not going to just paint on top of it like it is now, because you can see a little bit of the orange peeking through in spots, and where the paint is nicked or the paint didn't cover completely. So I'm going to, if I repaint it, which again, like I said, I think I'm going to go with a more of a blue, less purple. It's going to be a different process. This is a 3D printed cab, so I'm not quite sure how to get the old paint off and still maintain the cab without destroying the plastic. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Also, it's got new drive shafts, front and back. It doesn't have a new axles, but what it's got, or what it's going to get, I did the front one. I didn't do the back one, but it's got these. This is a lesu axle housing kit for the Tamiya axles. So you take, give me 1 second. When you want to find something, you can never do it. This will work to get you an idea. But basically what you do, you take one of these axles, even though this is for the single outlet, you take one of these axles, and you take the guts out, and they fit in here. And I already did it for the front. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's got it for the front. This section here is also going to get a little bit of work too. I'm not done with it. And you know how they say about all RC projects, you're never completely done with them. But yeah, this is how it comes out when it's done. But yeah, that part's complete, and it came out cool. I like the way it looks. And one of the main reasons why I'm doing that is these guys weren't designed to be on a wheel loader. Tamiya never, they never even thought of something like that. That's us being modelers doing crazy stuff with their products. So what happens is right here, where it screws onto the frame of the wheel loader, onto the frame of the truck, whatever you want to call it, it cracks. But it doesn't crack across the little hole here. It cracks across the axle like this. So that doesn't work. So that's why I did the steel axle housing, because they, hopefully they won't break. But, time will tell. On the inside, show you what I got going on in here. So on the inside, I cleaned it up a lot. I don't know. I got to look back on the old video, but I don't know if I showed how the inside was set up or how the electronics were set up. But on the old way, the pump was under the counterweight. Also, the speed controller for the hydraulic pump was under the counterweight. The tank sat up here where the pump is, and the electronics were squished all back here too. And the valves were just kind of hanging in the air. It wasn't a good setup. It wasn't a smart setup. So the way I have it now, there's a piece of styrene that's kind of like a radio tray. And now the receiver sits here. The main speed controller sits there. They're all nice and comfy. They don't move. They got a place to hide. The valves sit down here. The tank is here, and there's the pump. And one of the things that I've discovered lately, and I love them, is these power distribution boards that you can get for drones. They're not really, I don't think they're really made for the RC tractors or anything, but they're awesome. Because anybody that's ever did any kind of heavy equipment that has more than one speed controller in it, they all know that after a while, what happens is you have all these wires coming to one big ball of solder, or you have these little, you want to call it little like bus bars and stuff that you have to hook them all in. But this is kind of cool because you can solder everything to the bus board, and it gives you a nice clean setup, and it has a spot for your plug. Now the next thing I need to do for the inside here is first of all put some thread lock on this piece so it doesn't back off when I'm trying to unscrew it, because that's only supposed to come off. The little thumb screw. I want to put a battery tray. Again, I have a big piece of aluminum left. I have a piece of aluminum that I can make a battery tray out of, or I could get fancy and do a piece of carbon fiber. I don't know. It's whatever works. It's just a, a tray for the. Okay, guys, sorry about that. I had a family member come in and start talking to me. It's the reality of trying to do these things on a budget and at your property or at your house. But anyway, like I said, I want to put I think I was saying, believe it or not, it's actually been a little while between when I stopped the video and now. But anyway, I was thinking, I was saying I was going to put some kind of battery tray up here, maybe out of aluminum, or piece of carbon fiber if I wanted to get really fancy. But like I said, we'll see. But for right now, that's the video. Hope you guys like the wheel loader and how it came out. And like I said before, and hopefully this translates, because I've said this before on some of my other stuff, and people still tend to ask, where do I get it from? This is completely custom made. This is not. I didn't buy this. I didn't buy this wheel loader from anybody. This was completely custom made. I at one time in my career, work history or work career, if you want to call it, I worked at a sign shop, and I was the CNC router operator. And one of the things that's great about sign shops, and this is also helps you guys out if you guys want decals or anything like that. A lot of sign shops, they get them, but some of them don't get them because they're expensive. But they get templates for just about every machine you can think of, from jets all the way down to motorcycles. And the purpose of the templates is that they're a scale line drawing of vehicles. Everything from, like, I used to have a Mazda 6 at the time, and they had Mazda 6s in there. They even had the Mazda Speed 6 and the 4-cylinder Mazda 6, the one with the wing. They have all the cars in there. And the reason why they do that is if you want to get decals made for your car or for your truck or for your company, it gives the sign shop a scale line drawing of the vehicle. That way they can put the decals on the vehicle to scale and just print them out. And everything should just drop right onto the real one because you just use the line drawing. But saying that, that's what this was. I made this from a line drawing template of a Doosan DL450. I mean, it's not a perfect representation at all, but it's a lot. It's been simplified a lot, but that's what this was, and that's how I got this. I just took the line art and took all the little fancy details out of it, and when I got down to the base shapes, I broke those up and laid them out on a piece of aluminum and just cut them out. And between me and the fabricator and buying them lunch a couple times, we welded the pieces together, and this is how I got this wheel loader. So this wheel loader is completely custom, and it's old. Like I said in the last video, it's very old. But anyway, that's my wheel loader in part 3. I don't know if I'm going to make a part 4. If I make some kind of major adaptation to it, I'll let you guys know, and I'll put something on. I do know I'm looking at electronics for this thing, not anything like the hydraulic systems or anything like that. Anything that I do to it now is going to be cosmetic, or it's going to be electronic. Like, I'm looking around earlier today, I was looking at wheels and tires. Since I'm going to keep it for a while, I was thinking about treating it and getting real loader tires, RC loader tires, instead of my little 3D printed ones that I got here. Same with the wheels. I'm sorry, not the tires. The wheels and the tires. I want to get new ones. And the other thing I was thinking about doing is getting a different type of battery pack, because this guy actually runs a lot better on a 3S than it does a 2S. So I was thinking about getting a smaller 3S and put it in there. And one of the things that it does, but that was more of a product of how the electronics were set up the last time, it used to get hot. It never overheated, but the system got hot. But it's got a new, more up to date, more current speed controller in it. It's got a new speed controller for the pump, and the wiring is a lot more efficient with that that power distribution board and the XT60 connections. So it may not need a fan, but I want to put a fan in it. And of course, lighting. All these models to me won't be worth anything without lighting. Um, and again, the reason why I like the lighting is I get home around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and by the time I take a shower and get all cleaned up, it's during the winter, it's dark. So I come out here and kind of cool down for the day of work by playing around with my RC models, and I can't do it when I can't see it. So that's why I put lights on. But anyway, hope you guys like this part 3, and I hope I didn't ramble a lot. And see you next time.